And North American energy, this is really the idea that I think the U.S. in particular has decided as a nation that we want less, that we simply want less dependence on imported energy from unreliable areas like Venezuela, Africa, the Middle East, Russia, and so on. Well, just some comments about some of these individually. This is probably my all-time favorite chart because I was lucky enough to participate in this starting back in 1981. This is, at that point, the long bond, the 30-year Treasury, had a yield of 15.21%. And I was convinced that inflation was unwinding, and therefore there was going to be a big rally in bonds. And I said in print in 1981, we're entering the bond rally of a lifetime. Now this is showing one way of looking at this. Here we're using 25-year zero coupon treasuries. The data was available for the 25-year. And we're assuming that you roll these over every year to maintain the maturity or the duration, which of course for a zero are the same. And we assume that you bought them in October of 1981, which was the low in price, the high in yield. And you can see where you are now. And in contrast, if you bought the S&P 500 at its low in July of 1982, and on a total return basis, you look where you are, and the bonds have outperformed the stocks by 7.6 times, 7.6 times. And I assure you that treasuries are only suitable for little old ladies and orphans. Now, let me say this. I have never bought treasuries for yield. I couldn't care less what the yield is as long as it's going down. And I happen to think now people say 3%. Why would you buy a treasury at 3%? Well, that's like saying, why would you buy a stock with a dividend yield of 2%? You don't buy it for 2%. Most people don't. They're looking for appreciation. The same with treasuries. And I think that we could go to 2% from 3% on the 30-year bond. And if you do on a zero, you make a capital gain of 32%.